Why is there an Eiffel Tower in Bucharest, Romania? Welcome back to day 25 of my 6-week senior trip, and today we are flying from Vienna to Bucharest, Romania. Today is my last trip to the Balkan states. Earlier this week I did Serbia, yesterday I did Bulgaria, and today we are doing Romania. Now this morning I was suffering a lot because my flight coming back from Sofia last night got delayed almost 3 hours, so I didn't get back to my hotel until 2 in the morning, and I only was able to get 2 hours of sleep because I had to get up and head back to the airport for my 5:50 a.m. departure to Bucharest. As soon as I got to Bucharest, I headed straight to the Old Town to get myself some breakfast. I headed to this really cool Van Gogh cafe where I got a French toast. It was a really cool and interesting and unique cafe that I've never seen before. It was a bit pricey, but I really did like the interior. One thing I did notice about the Old Town of Bucharest is that the only really thing to do there is to party, drink, and that's kind of it. It really seemed like the only people there were on their like stag do's, on their bachelorette parties, and it was kind of obvious because drinks were cheap, a lot of pubs, a lot of clubs, and I could definitely see why people come here for a nice cheap last holiday vacation. After walking around the Old Town, I headed my way to the Parliament building, which I think is the heaviest building in all of Europe. I think I saw that online, and it honestly took me around almost an hour to walk around the entire Parliament building. That's how huge it was. And there was a really cool cathedral behind the Parliament building. After checking out the Parliament building, I went back to the Old Town to check out this really cool library that's kind of funny how it's just like in the middle of the Old Town of pubs and clubs, but it's kind of a really nice break of all the drinking and the partying, and there's a really nice cafe on the top of the library which has some pretty good coffee. Definitely recommend checking out the library so you can buy some souvenirs, especially if you are nerdy into like comic books and stuff. After the library, I went walking through some parks and to the more modern part of town where I think the majority of people stay in like hotels and more nicer restaurants, which is a bit of a very different vibe to the Old Town. And I also walked to something I really had to not miss on this trip, which I didn't know about until I got to Bucharest, is that why do they have an Eiffel Tower? I'll see you tomorrow.